Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Well, I'm at it again. Video 3 for the day. It's ridiculous, but I was driving home and I listened to a video by Robert the narrator, something I hadn't realized was up. And the video is called something like "Life is Cheap," and I forget the rest of it. But he's jumping to this conversation we've been having about the old school and lethality, and role playing your character, all that kind of stuff. People like Dark Age of Roleplay game and Lee Your Humble Game Master, and I forget who else has been kind of involved in this discussion. And earlier today, I watched a great video by Anthony, by Runesinger, talking about it's called "All Schools Get Old." And Robert's video is great too, so I enjoyed both of them. But Robert's video had me thinking about this one particular aspect of the discussion where I think sometimes we get it wrong, or we're focusing on the wrong thing. And as Anthony said in his video, the system definitely matters. There are systems out there that promote role playing, that promote investment in your character, that promote you just not moving a token around the board, as Robert was saying, where all you're doing is collecting treasure and magic items and whatnot. It's all about a game. It's not role playing anymore, just gaming. However, as Anthony said, it seems to depend more on what kind of gamer you are, period. Like what your motivations are. Like what's his experience, it's my experience, it's the experience of a lot of people I've talked to, that some of us just jumped right in there and played our characters. I was watching JDRD30's game, or a video rather, today about Advanced Fighting Fantasy. I think it was whatever RPG a day question he was answering. I think it was long-term campaign. He was talking about that. He turned me on to that. I bought the game. Cool game. But how he was talking about how he played that way too, just right out of the gate. He played his character. So it seems to be more of like an internal mindset. And so, part of Robert's concern and Lee's concern and a lot of other people's concern is, hey, if our characters are dying all the time, isn't this going to make it so it's just not worth it? Am I going to just say that, the heck with it? This guy's going to die anyway. So to me, my perspective is, and my experience has been, the lethality of something like old school games, and many other games, by the way, which I'll get to, isn't that the characters die all the time. It's that the likelihood of them dying in a particular situation is greater than in other games. When presented with this really dangerous situation, they're more likely to perish in this difficult and treacherous situation than a character that's built more heroically in a different system. Whether it's like 7th Sea First Edition or Pathfinder or what have you. So it's not the frequency of death that becomes the issue, it's the chance of death. In the Lamentations of the Flame Princess game that I played, that I talk about all the time, the bit longer campaign, I played 3 characters. My first character died after 2 sessions, I believe. That was it. Poison needle trap, boom, gone. So that was the end of, I think it was Curzon Dax. I named him after a Star Trek character. And then after that was Duras the Wizard, another Star Trek character. I wasn't being very creative in that game. And he lasted for quite some time. Died at 7th level in a dicey situation. The possibility of him dying in that dicey situation, it's not really important, but an Earth Elemental killed him in 1 round because they do an awful lot of damage, and he had a lot of hit points for what he was, but the possibility of him dying in 1 blow is very real. He put himself in a very dangerous situation, and he paid the price. The dice didn't go his way, and that would have gone differently, I believe, in another game. Where the characters were built to be a little bit more bulletproof or take a little bit more damage before it just ended. But that's it. And then I played his retainer Sheen after that, who was named after a Jimmy Neutron character. So after Duras died, then I played that guy who had been around and gone up to a certain level. That's it. Those are the 3 characters I played in a game that lasted I don't know, a year and a half, something like that. So I did not mow through a bunch of characters. And the rest of the guys in that group, most of them were on their second character. Mark, the sword is mine. He was on his first character. The character never died. So I think that guy finally died. He played a second character way near the end of the game. But that was it. So it wasn't this big, giant chain of death after death after death. The thing was that the likelihood of us dying was a lot higher. And to me, that doesn't make me gun-shy about developing a personality. It forces me to play the character as if the situation was real, as if the consequences were real, as if your actions actually matter. You're putting yourself in a life or death situation. There's a high possibility that you might die. I like this kind of gaming. And I found in a game system like Ubiquity, I found a very close parallel. I've had many situations in the few games I've played where my character was literally one step from death, and I found this satisfying. I could think of, yeah, three or four times where it's like it looked pretty dicey. And so I found that much more satisfying than other games I've played where you just got pummeled and you're just like, I can't believe this guy's still standing. And it got narrated in this, in this big heroic, a fight where we're slugging it out. So yeah, that to me is really the point, or one of the points is it's, when we're talking about lethality, we're not talking about frequency unless you're playing dumb or you're playing, with a bunch of jerks. It's about the possibility. It's about the chance of dying. And Robert, in his video, I try never to swear on these videos, but Robert was talking about, is concerned that you might just be the DM's bitch, and now that's the wrong conception. What it really is you might be the dice's bitch. Every once in a while, yeah, it didn't go so good. So fate will intervene sometimes, and sometimes things won't go your way. The chances, and well, without chance, So that's what I've got to say about that. So. What have your experiences been?